rotate your phone.
Come on. Who cares?
Hi there. I'm sorry we're late. Everything crazy is happening here. I cannot get Facebook to open on my desktop. And so it opens, but then it's empty. So it looks like there are people, thank God. And I was a minute ago, I went on using my iPad, but it was on the wrong page. So, yay. Elizabeth says hello. Helen says hi. All right, we made it somehow. This is the only way I can see the comments, honey. And
Sure.
Let's see what we can do here.
All right.
Okay, so we have a half of James.
No, I'll just be right behind you.
Okay, now we do
I
have
got
a
your
topic. It doesn't say so, but the topic tonight is, drums are rolling. Todd says, hi, Beth and James. Hi, Todd. Helen says, thanks for turning your screen. You were sideways. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, my God. Well, I was also on the wrong channel. But first, I it didn't exist at all. Can you imagine? I open up Facebook and there's no way to go. Okay, the topic is, if you care, give people what they need, not what they want.
Try doing that during the holidays, huh?
But before we get on to that delicious, delectable topic, we'd like to hear from sweet baby James, who's going to introduce our show.
Yes, you have come to Granny Rocks Our World, and certainly our world is getting rocked, and this topic might rock your world too. And Granny's going to be sharing her wisdom, her wit, and her very uncommon sense. And we do this every Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So take it away, Granny.
Yeah, and thank God for the iPad. And by the way, just an hour ago, my iPad just conked itself out completely, and it was gone for 5 minutes, and I couldn't revive it.
Technology.
So what can I say? You can't live with it. You can't live without it. So if I'm saying, if you care, give people what they need and not what they want. And there is a reason that that topic came up. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how that came to mind. But first, let's talk about, what do people usually want? Well, think about it. What do people want? A compliment? Like, oh, I'm coming out in a new outfit, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, I want you. Or I just finished doing the show, and I want James to say, now that was the best show yet, right? And I want that every week, right? Okay, so what I want is a compliment. So that means you think I'm great and whatever it is, you know. You're so beautiful. So, now, is it true? Well, forget about that. I want to hear it, and so that's what I want to hear. It really doesn't make any difference to me. And Tracy said, hello, Tracy.
Hello.
The topic, Tracy, is, if you care, give people what they need, not what they want, because I'm sure that the topic isn't on there. The second thing that people usually want is, and I'm just putting out some broad generalizations here, is permission to do what they want. Sure, buddy, have another drink.
Yeah, right.
You know? If I want to do something, I want people to approve of me doing it. I don't want to hear that it's no good. If I'm nasty, I want to be told that I'm just standing up for myself. Or, right? So I'm looking for permission to do what I want. So that's what people are looking for. And the third thing that pops into my mind is, I'm sure there are more, is people want us to create an environment that supports the worst in them. How could I say a thing like that? Well, isn't it obvious why I'm saying a thing like that? Because our world today, we are encouraged to be at our worst, to be polarized, to be insulting, to get, oh, he was nasty to me, so I get to be nasty back. Or so we want to have an environment that supports us to be at our worst. Now, that's the topic, actually, that started this whole thing. Because by accident, I was browsing around yesterday on YouTube, and I saw this video. No, it wasn't on YouTube. It was on something, on the internet, and it was a video about a guy who is a famous talk show host, and he started many years ago as a little guy on public access television, and then he became bigger and bigger and bigger, and he was on Sirius, and then he was on this, and now he's on that, and he's on TV and all that stuff. So, and I'm watching this guy, and I mean, he is just angry, and he's just letting people have it, and you know, I thought, wow, because I'm looking at what are the tips I can pick up to get more popular, you know. But I also started in a very modest way. We had a show on voiceamerica.com, which is internet radio, and it was called Inside Out.
Yeah,
and then it became Interrevolutionary Radio. And, you know, it didn't go anywhere. So I'm thinking, how did he do it? How did he do it? How did Rush Limbaugh do it? How did I don't know.
Cool.
Who else? I don't even know if she has a show. But anyway, how did this guy do it? And I'm watching him, and my stomach is churning. And I'm thinking, that's how he did it. He is going after people. He's angry. He's vicious. People want that. And this was years ago. It wasn't just in the last couple years, guys, that he started. I remember being interviewed on talk radio. And there were a lot of talk radio hosts who were vicious. I mean, really, really vicious. I know that because they interviewed me. And they wouldn't even let you talk. And I thought, this isn't good radio. They're not letting me talk. I mean, they're not even giving me a chance. Okay, so, but what did I learn from that? That he was giving people what they wanted. And that's why they supported him. Now think about that. Now what are we to do? Because if you don't give people what they want, many of them will turn their backs on you. But now let's take a look at the other side of this coin, which is, what do people need? Now, I've been talking about what do people usually want. And, you know, I know there's another side to people, but I want to point out that everything I've talked about is about feeling good. I want to feel good. So I want to feel good about smoking this cigarette. I want to feel good about being nasty or judgmental. I want to feel good about being polarizing or not understanding of others. I want to feel good about all of this. I want to feel good about myself because I look at myself and this is what I see. And I don't want anybody to tell me the truth about me. I don't want them to tell me that my show stinks or that, you know, that dress doesn't work or whatever. I don't want to know that. I want compliments. Compliments to my ego, so make me feel good. Now, what is the other side of that? The other side of that is what people need is not something that makes them feel good or makes us feel good. It's something that makes us be well. That's what we need, right? Now, instead of giving someone a compliment, feed them the truth. Feed them the truth. You're feeding them with the truth, stuff that we need to look at. You know, we're not getting anywhere in our political conversation with one another because we're attacking one another and we're not doing the basic things of trying to even understand what the other person is saying, okay? So it may make us feel good in the moment, but that's not going to help the conversation. Amy says, I get it, Beth. That's fabulous. Now, instead of giving people, earlier I talked about what people want. They want permission to do what they want, like, sure, have another drink, or smoking is good for your health. Refuse to give permission for self-destructive or destructive behavior. Just don't give it. Well, I can't stop him from drinking. If he wants to have another drink, well, then he's going to, fine. If he wants another drink, he can get his ass out of bed and go to the liquor store himself or go out and earn the money to pay for it. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't have to give him permission by telling him or her that what he or she is doing is okay, the very thing that's making him or her sick. And the third thing is about, people want an environment that supports the worst in them, but that is like a social environment that says, yeah, keep doing this. This is good. This is good. I want to help create an environment that feeds the best in us, not the worst. Now think about that for a minute. How many people are going to thank you for doing this? For telling them the truth, for refusing to give them permission to self-destruct, and refusing to create an environment where it's okay to be hateful or hurtful to other people. So first, we want the compliments. Secondly, we don't want anybody to stop us from our self-destructive behavior. And then third, we want to have an environment that gives us permission to be destructive to others. Wow! Is that a good thing? I don't think so. But so it's so obvious that that's not good, right? So why don't more of us give people what they need? Because that's what I was thinking about our show. Is that I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe that our show is giving people what they need: deeper understanding, giving people help with connections, different perception, a way of talking about things. So how do people respond? Well, I will tell you something. We are not popular like some of those other guys are who are doing the opposite. So that kind of gives you a clue as to the way people feel about being given what they need. Now, every once in a while, you'll meet somebody who will say, even a counselor, somebody comes into therapy, they come into counseling. This has happened to me. Somebody comes in for counseling. They tell me that they're open, they want to know. But they don't, because they want you to feed their delusions. And when you start getting to the thing that really confronts their whole way of behaving in their lives, they smile at you. The smile becomes wooden, and it's thank you for sharing, and you never hear from them again. And all of us have to deal with that, whether it's a friend that doesn't want to hear the truth, a client, a legal client, a law client. You have to say, you have no case, you have no case. Yeah, I'm paying you to do this, but, you have no case, you have no case. But I'm going to, sure, I'll take your money, whatever. Or it's, people chanting, lock him, her up, or whatever is vicious and vile. People do not typically say, thank you for sharing the truth with me about how I am being and how I am self-destructing and how I am hurting others. So now, what are you going to do? Are you going to be the one who's going to tell the truth, or are you going to be the one that's going to give the compliment or just not say anything, right? So, are you willing to face how people are reacting? Is it worth it to you? I'm not going to confront everybody on the street, but sometimes it's important. Sometimes it's important that I speak. Sometimes it's important that you speak. Sometimes it's important that he speak. We have to use our intuition about this, but we also have to care enough about the person. Wow, the light just went out. Oh well, we have to care enough about the person to do it, to speak. When we know it's going to make us unpopular, we may lose a friendship, we may lose a client, we may lose a job. Now,
would you take that chance if it's for their highest good? If
that's
you care
right.
about them enough.
And how are they going to respond? Well, it depends on how much pain they're in. If they're in a lot of pain from their behavior, maybe they have reached the point that they're sick of taking drugs, or they're sick of lying, or they're sick of lying to themselves, or they're sick of, yelling and screaming and pretending that other people aren't human, and demonizing everybody who doesn't agree. You know, are we sick of it? And the second question is, are we willing to take responsibility for the pain that we're in because of our behavior? See, am I in enough pain from taking drugs, for example? And am I willing to take responsibility to do something about it? And that, of course, very often means getting help for whatever it is that I need to do. So there it is, guys. That is what's going to determine whether or not somebody thanks you or attacks you, is whether they're in enough pain about their behavior and whether they're willing to take responsibility for changing it. You don't have much to say about that. You can, if you're going to deliver the message, do it with kindness, with love, with understanding and compassion. But you have to be honest and you have to be firm, or you're just feeding the delusions and giving people what they want. Now, you could say, oh yeah, but I've been taking on Monsanto and, you know, all the chemicals, and you see, I'm giving them hell, and that's, you know, which proves that I'm really a good guy, and I'm not one of those. Yeah, but no, that doesn't prove anything. It's how you take on Monsanto, and how we are with one another, and how much we try to understand what is going on versus just spewing and venting, and giving other people permission to spew and vent as well. So, if you care more about people than you care about how they treat you, because they can treat you really badly, or then you care about what they give you, like, oh, they're going to give me money or they're not going to give me money, right? They give me prestige or not. How they talk about you, if how you care more about them than you care about how they talk about you and what they do to you, then you've got to give people what they need. Otherwise, you have to live with yourself and your own conscience. So I'm inviting each one of you to think about this topic. And think about whether you tend to give people what they want or what they need. And why? Now, sometimes somebody just needs a hug. And they're not ready for the truth. But that hug is the first step towards the awareness that they need as well. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm glad you didn't give up and that we were able to somehow get on. And I just cannot comprehend what's happening with me and Facebook. But thank God this worked, right? I think we're a little bit dark, but oh well, right? We are here every Monday and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, as James has mentioned. Please like this show. Please leave your comments. I hope to be able to answer those comments, not on my desktop, but on my iPad. Don't give up on us no matter what. And also, tomorrow night, I'm playing Dreams of Peace if I can get on the air. I play the piano and I play it live. And we have a special treat tomorrow night that involves our band, Be Natural. And share this video. People need to hear this, even if they don't want to.
There it is.
Anything else that you feel the need to say, James?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
it.
Okay, mwah, mwah.
Bye-bye for now.
We love you. We're so appreciative. Well, I love your comments. I can't tell you how much I love hearing from you. In fact, I heard from a woman today who says, we don't have to agree about everything, do we? No, we don't. She had a good heart. We have good hearts. That's what we need, more good hearts coming together to change the world.
Right on.
Oh, Todd said, thank you, Beth and James. See you on Growth in a few minutes. Love you. We love you too. Yes, see you on Growth, which is our discussion video conference every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. You could join us. Bye-bye.